Look at your phone right now. If you have a Ring notification, would you feel safe opening it? For thousands of homeowners, a simple alert has become the first chapter in a real-life horror story they never asked to be part of. I've spent the last 3 months collecting and analyzing the most unsettling Ring footage ever captured, including the case in Lake County where a man aimed a gun directly at a camera at 4 a.m. while his accomplice lurked near the homeowner's vehicles. What these cameras reveal about human behavior will make you reconsider everything you thought you knew about home security. It starts with a notification at 3 a.m. The screen shows a figure standing motionless in the dark, staring directly into the camera. This became the nightly reality for an Albuquerque woman whose Ring device captured a man peering into her windows for months. Each time the motion sensor activated, it recorded him testing the boundaries of her property, his face illuminated by the camera's infrared glow. Home security systems are designed to deter crime, but in this case, the footage revealed something more unsettling, a pattern of behavior that hadn't yet crossed into illegal territory, but created constant fear. The Albuquerque Police Department reviewed the footage but faced limitations in taking immediate action. Yet without evidence of trespassing or other crimes, officers couldn't make an arrest. The footage showed the man returning night after night, sometimes just standing, other times pressing his face against windows. Each visit lasted just long enough to unsettle the homeowner, but not long enough to guarantee police intervention. Research shows most stalkers begin with behaviors that aren't technically illegal before escalating. The National Center for Victims of Crime reports that a significant percentage of stalking cases turn violent. In this situation, the woman's decision to document every incident created an undeniable pattern. The Ring footage provided timestamps, clear images of the man's face, and proof of his repeated presence. Purdue noted the footage's value. It's more information for our officers and our detectives to have, and so we want that video because he could just be there checking it out one night, and then next night he could be the one burglarizing the home or the vehicle. What finally made this case actionable wasn't a single dramatic event. It was the accumulation of evidence. The homeowner saved every clip, noting dates and times, which allowed law enforcement to establish a stalking pattern. The footage showed the man's behavior growing bolder over time, from standing at the edge of the property to approaching windows directly. This documentation provided the probable cause needed for police to intervene before the situation turned violent. This case demonstrates how Ring footage can serve as a critical tool for documenting stalking behavior before it escalates. The camera didn't just capture a crime, it revealed the warning signs that often precede one. But while this story ended with intervention, some encounters caught on doorbell cameras aren't just creepy, they're outright violent. At 4 a.m. in a quiet Florida subdivision, a Ring camera activated. But this time, it wasn't recording a package thief. The footage showed a man pointing a gun directly into the lens, his face partially obscured by a hood. Behind him, a second figure moved near the homeowner's vehicles, checking door handles. Most people install these cameras expecting to catch porch pirates or neighborhood vandals, not armed intruders making direct threats. The Lake County Sheriff's Office is still searching for both suspects, who vanished into the night after the confrontation. This wasn't like the Albuquerque stalking case, where the threat was subtle and drawn out. Here, the danger was immediate and unmistakable. The gun wasn't just visible, it was aimed with purpose, either as a warning to the homeowner or an attempt to intimidate. Home invasions often start with this kind of casing behavior, where perpetrators scout properties before escalating to violence. Security footage from other cases shows suspects testing doors, peering through windows, or lingering near vehicles. All behaviors that, while suspicious, don't always prompt police response until it's too late. Why would someone deliberately threaten a camera? Experts suggest 2 possibilities. First, it could be a direct message. We know you're watching, and we don't care. Second, it might be an attempt to disable the device before committing a crime. Albuquerque Police Department Crime Prevention Specialist Francesca Purdue emphasized the value of video evidence. In this Florida case, the footage provided clear suspect descriptions, height, clothing, the type of firearm, and documented their movements around the property. That level of detail is critical for investigators, especially when suspects flee before police arrive. The footage also revealed something else: the accomplice's behavior. While one man pointed the gun, the other checked car doors, suggesting they were prepared for more than just a confrontation. Had the homeowners interrupted them, the situation could have turned deadly in seconds. This aligns with data showing most violent home intrusions happen through unlocked doors or windows, with perpetrators often exploiting simple security oversights. Despite the clear threat, the suspects remain at large. The sheriff's office released the footage to the public, hoping someone might recognize the men, but so far no arrests have been made. The video serves as a stark reminder that security cameras don't just deter crime, they also capture the moments when deterrence fails. This case shows how quickly a routine security alert can turn into evidence of a life-threatening situation. The footage didn't just document a crime, it revealed the boldness of the perpetrators, their willingness to confront surveillance directly. While the camera couldn't stop them, it gave investigators their best chance at identification. Not all ring footage shows clear crimes. Some videos capture moments that are simply unnerving, with no resolution in sight. The Reddit thread on unresolved mysteries documents cases where doorbell footage raises more questions than answers. One of the most baffling examples is the disappearance of the Jamison family, whose home CCTV showed them behaving strangely before they vanished. The footage reveals them loading and unloading their truck multiple times, moving erratically, and appearing to communicate with someone off-camera. When investigators later found their abandoned vehicle, it contained $32,000 in cash, their IDs, and a malnourished dog, but no trace of the family. Their remains were discovered years later in a remote area, but the footage provided no clear explanation for what happened. Forensic experts explain how even clear footage can't always solve a case without additional evidence. The Jamison family's video is sharp, but without context, it's impossible to determine why they acted the way they did. Were they under duress? Were they involved in something illegal? The footage alone can't answer these questions. This limitation is common in cases where security cameras capture only fragments of a larger story. The Reddit thread highlights another example: the murder of Liz Barraza. Her Ring camera recorded audio of a cheerful greeting, "Good morning," followed by gunshots. The footage shows a masked shooter approaching her porch, but the motive remains unknown. The audio makes the moment even more disturbing, as Liz's friendly tone contrasts sharply with what happens next. These cases demonstrate how security footage can be both crucial evidence and an enduring mystery. The Jamison family's video didn't lead to immediate answers, but it did provide a timeline of their final hours. Liz Barraza's footage gave investigators a clear sequence of events, yet the killer's identity and motive are still unclear. The Reddit thread also mentions the case of Hop van Nugayen, whose security camera was covered by an unknown person before his disappearance. In each instance, the footage captures something unsettling but leaves critical gaps. The emotional impact of these videos is undeniable. Watching the Jamisons move in and out of frame or hearing Liz Barraza's final words creates a sense of unease that lingers. The footage doesn't just document events, it forces viewers to confront the unknown. Why did the Jamisons leave their money behind? Why did Liz's killer target her? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. These questions haunt investigators and online sleuths alike. The Unresolved Mysteries thread shows how people obsess over these details, analyzing every frame for clues. Security cameras are meant to provide clarity, but sometimes they do the opposite. The Jamison family's footage, Liz Barraza's audio, and other cases like them prove that even the clearest video can't always explain what happened. These recordings become pieces of a puzzle that may never be solved, leaving viewers with a chilling reminder of how much remains unknown. But sometimes the footage provides undeniable evidence of premeditated violence. The Ring camera at Madison Harris's home in Biloxi, Mississippi, captured 5 suspects entering through an unlocked carport door. Within seconds, they exited just as quickly, but in those moments, they had committed capital murder. The footage shows the entire event unfolding in under a minute, demonstrating how rapidly home security situations can turn deadly. The 16-year-old victim's family later told WLOX they believed this was retaliation for reporting a prior burglary at their home. This case reveals a disturbing reality. Security cameras don't just deter crime. Sometimes they make residents targets. James Waldeck, engaged to Madison's grandmother, described how the Ring Doorbell app alerted them to an ambulance at their home. When they checked the garage door camera, they saw the horrifying sequence. The suspects entering, the shooting, and their escape, all in seconds. The footage provided investigators with precise timing and movements, but it couldn't prevent the tragedy. The unlocked carport door gave the suspects easy access, highlighting a common security oversight. Studies show most violent home intrusions happen through unlocked doors or windows, and this case was no exception. What made this footage particularly valuable wasn't just the visual evidence, it was the timeline. The camera recorded the exact moment the suspects arrived, how long they stayed inside, and their escape route. This level of detail helps law enforcement reconstruct events and identify suspects. But the footage also has limitations. It didn't show the actual shooting, and it couldn't explain why Madison was targeted. The family's theory about retaliation suggests the prior burglary report may have put them at risk, turning their security measure into a liability. The case underscores how quickly violent home invasions unfold. The suspects didn't linger or search for valuables. They entered with a clear purpose and left immediately after achieving it. This isn't unusual. Research indicates most violent intruders spend less than 10 minutes inside a home. The speed of these crimes makes prevention difficult, even with security cameras. Madison's family had taken steps to protect their home, but the unlocked door provided an opportunity the suspects exploited. The footage also revealed behavioral clues about the suspects. They moved with confidence, suggesting they were familiar with the home's layout. This aligns with the family's belief that the attack was targeted rather than random. The camera captured their clothing, approximate heights, and the order in which they entered and exited, details that become critical in investigations. Yet despite this evidence, the case remains unresolved, showing that cameras alone don't guarantee justice. Madison Harris's case demonstrates both the power and limitations of home security footage. The Ring camera provided crucial evidence, but it couldn't stop the crime from happening. The unlocked door was a small oversight with devastating consequences. This incident, along with others, reveals an unsettling truth. Cameras document threats, but they don't always prevent them. These cases show security cameras don't just prevent crime. They record the exact moment safety collapses. While 60% of burglars avoid homes with visible cameras, the ones who don't are often the most dangerous. The Albuquerque stalker kept returning despite the camera, proving deterrence isn't foolproof. Experts recommend strategic placement. Cover entry points like doors and windows, especially blind spots, like the carport where Madison Harris's killers entered. Check your settings tonight. The next alert might not be a package, but a threat.